Hello, I'm Refashionista Sherry, and as always, if you love all things thrifted and vintage and DIY'd and upcycled, you are definitely in the right place, and I highly recommend subscribing because I share brand new rockin' Refashionista videos every single week, like the one I'm going to share today. But first, let us remember this awesome t-shirt refashion that I did, and you can make one of these too. I'll link that oldie but goodie tutorial down below. And speaking of oldie but goodie tutorials, today we are gonna revisit a tutorial series that I did way back in 2013 when I was still living in Germany. And you know what? Out of the 3 items, I actually still have 2 of them, and they are still going strong, and these are over a decade old. And I cannot believe these things last so long that I make, especially as these were ones that I created when I was first starting out on my Refashionista journey. So you know what, let's just dive right in. So I started this whole boot series because I found these at the back of my closet and they still had the tags on. I'd never worn them, and I thought, hey, here's something I can maybe refashion. So I started by simply making my boots shorter, and to do that, all you need are your boots, some trim, and first you gotta figure out how long or short you want them to be. I wanted these to be a little bit longer than ankle boots, so I just marked where I wanted them and of course left some seam allowance, then chopped them. Then, look at that, I used the chopped top as a template to chop off the other boot top, and I think you can see where this is going. This is a very, very easy refashion, which again, it's probably why it was one of the first ones that I ever attempted, but it came out perfectly. So because my boots were fabric, I simply folded in the raw edges, pinned them, and then of course went around them with a nice sturdy hem, and there you can see my lovely hem, which doesn't look so nice, but I don't care because I'm covering it up with some fabulous vintage trim. And here, this trim, I actually still have some of it in my stash, so this has lasted me a very, very long time. I don't have a lot left, but I do have some. And there's the boots, all done, and so super simple. And you know what? I did wear these and wear these and wear these until they wore out. So next up, I figured I could make a really cute bag out of those chopped boot tops, so I grabbed a necktie to use as the strap. Then I decided I don't like the fringe on those boot tops, so I chopped it off. Then, of course, I had to put those boot tops together with the right sides facing, and I chopped off any of the edges that weren't really lined up or looking so great. Hey, I am jumping in. To interrupt myself to talk about the sponsor of my Refashionista video. And no, it is not the pile here of to be refashioned projects, nor is it my rack of clothing that has, you know, my characters' outfits on it. And it's also not the clean laundry hanging up there. It is, of course, me. I'm the sponsor of this video and my amazing printed Refashionista books. And of course, these are available on Amazon. So let's just quickly go through them. First, we have my Sustainable Style Journal in this adorable comic book theme. And it has my 4-step wardrobe audit plus a bunch of pages here where you can keep track of your style journey or whatever the heck you want. Actually, it's fantastic, and it is $7.99 US. Next, we have my Refashionista Relaxation Coloring Book, which of course has gorgeous illustrations for you to color, as well as these blank pages here where you can sketch out your own Refashionista ideas. And I also included, let's get to one of those pages, lots of tips and tricks. And those are, I would say, I don't know, about every, 6th page somewhere. There's another one there. Contains tips and tricks here. Ooh, there's another one. And this is just more fantastic. And look at those illustrations. I am very, very proud of this. It came out absolutely beautifully, and it's only $9.99. But, of course, my Refashioning 101 is my absolute favorite. It is my little book baby. Actually, no, it is my big book baby, because not only is it full color, it also contains over 100 tutorials, plus loads more tips, tricks, and hacks to help you transform your wardrobe or your friend's wardrobe, or start a little refashionista business. Why not? It's all in here. It'll all help you get going and recreating your own unique style on a budget using stuff you already have around the house. And this is a mere $24.99. If you do get my lovely books, please leave a review and let everybody know why they should have these wonderful books in their life. And to get them, just go on your local Amazon site and search Sherry Pavlovich, and these will all pop up, as well as my ebooks. So enjoy, leave the reviews so everybody else can enjoy them. And yeah, as I said, it does help me continue creating these videos. So yeah, sponsoring my own videos from now on.
And we're back to finish off this cool bag. So as you can see, I simply arranged my necktie on one of the boot tops and then carefully stitched it on. And then, of course, all I had to do was stitch on the other side of the boot top to the other side of the necktie. And this was a little bit picky. I will admit that even 10 years later, I remember the pickiness, but it was well worth it. And then all I did was stitch the ends of the necktie together to finish off my strap, and of course added that groovy little button and buttonhole.
Let's take a look at this awesome bag, which is now over a decade old, and you can see it is still going strong and looking absolutely just as awesome as the day I made it. Although I will admit that back then, I was just starting out on my refashionista journey, so maybe the buttonhole isn't the straightest in the world, but it doesn't matter. It gets the job done, right? But look, it's still great. It is so sturdy, because you can see here, I even went over the existing seams again, because I was so scared that these fast fashion boots were not going to last as a bag, but it absolutely has. The tie is super sturdy. Come on. If I can make this stuff, you guys can make this stuff. And if I can make it to last, so can you.
Of the 3 projects that I made out of these boots, this one is absolutely my favorite, and I have worn it so many times over the years. And it is, of course, using the fringe on my awesome fluorescent sweatshirt. So, of course, all you need is some fringe and a sweatshirt. And then chop open one of the sweatshirt arms from the cuff all the way to the underarm seam. Then pop your fringe into that chopped underarm area and stitch it on, and that's it. Repeat it with the other side, and you have the most adorable fringe sweatshirt.
So there you have it. Once again, I have 2 things that I made over a decade ago and they're still going strong and they're still looking awesome. The boots, unfortunately, did not make it over to Canada when we moved from Berlin. They just didn't have any life left in them because I wore them so much. But these 2 things did. And they're, like I said, they're still going strong. They're still awesome. And of course, they have to be worn together because they just coordinate perfectly. Do let me know down below if you are going to attempt to recreate a pair of boots into something else. I mean, now you see how easy it is, and it truly can be done. It's just all about using your refashionista imagination, thinking outside the box, and not being afraid to cut into stuff. Like, why should you be? Come on, life is short. Cut into those boots, cut into that leather jacket. Who cares at the end of the day? If it doesn't work out, pivot, make it into something else. Super duper easy. Get those refashionista brain juices flowing for sure. And did you notice my awesome necklace that I'm wearing? I'm sure, I'm positive, in fact, my fellow Gen Xers and elder millennials and anyone else traumatized by this 80s movie will recognize this. But let me know down below if you know what this is and what it is called and what it's used for even. So yeah, what is it? What movie is it from? What it's used for? 3 wonderful comment prompts for you down below there. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and as always, I will catch you on the zigzag. Oh, right, and go get my books and leave reviews because they're cheap, they're awesome, and, you know, it's supporting the channel.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.